In this video discussion, we're going to talk about the mental change that comes with the Western way of awakening. And so briefly, we're going to compare that to the East. Now, in the East, they want to quiet the mind, stop the mind, empty the mind, become completely empty so that they can become one with everything. And to do this in achieving enlightenment, they can spend years as a monk to achieve that enlightenment and becoming selfless and becoming one with everything. Now, clearly, not everybody in the East is enlightened, but it does represent a perspective and a perception and a cultural difference to the West. And but in that change in perspectives and perceptions, that can leave advancements behind. So that's one of the trade-offs they have east to west, that in order to have this mental shift and this cultural achievement, they sometimes have to reject the cultural advantages, let's say, of the Western civilization. And they do that for the sake of pure intentions. Now, ultimately, however, no matter how you affect the mind, you're still going to engage in this three-dimensional world. It's not like you're going to become something else and somebody else. You're still going to have to engage in the everyday world, because this is the three-dimensional reality. This is the awareness to which your first agreement was to come into and to become aware of, and this is your reality and your purpose. It is everybody's. It doesn't matter if it's East or West. And so this is not something that you necessarily want to reject. It's something that you want to become aware of and you want to understand. Now, it is true that you will find peace and you will find stillness and you will have a quiet mind, because they exemplify the truth. And they will come naturally in whichever culture you practice, if the truth and awakening is your intention. In the West, we understand the language of the ego. The ego defines the self. Now, understanding this, we do not have to drop the mind then to become selfless. What we have to drop is the ego. The path and the practice of dropping the ego is humility. Complete humility is the selflessness that we seek in order to become more and more aware. Becoming humble, having the attribute of humility does not mean that you have to reject then any Western cultural advantages. Well, it changes the mind, and it changes your beliefs, and it changes our way of being. It brings with it greater awareness, because humility is the spiritual attribute of awareness. As we are guests, we are emissaries, and essentially we are strangers to this world.